I love it. I love it. I remember I was coming to some classes before. I think I passed my board already, and I was just, but I'm still waiting. It took me a while to get my license itself. So I signed up, and I was coming to some classes, and as soon as that baby came in, boom, I was able to do open house, and I think the very first open house I did, I got to buy an alphabet. Yeah, so it was cool. It's cool. Because, and I remember that buyer, I said that buyer many years later, Gerry, who is your first client? They had no idea. Because this class prepare you, if you really are listening well, it prepares you well to represent yourself. They had no idea. I mean, I've done sales before, so it's not like a big thing. I know I've speaking before. I closed them on the open house. They came to our office from the open house. Like, let's go to the office. I don't know how to write an offer. I told my team leader, hey, I got the good stuff there is. And he did all of that back with no idea. It was my first sale. So if you guys pay good attention, you'll be able to get it. So we're gonna get started. So you guys have gone in a lot of sessions, and today is about follow-up with leads. But I always want to start by asking you guys a question. What business do you guys think you're in?
Sales,
Oh,
lead generation.
Can you say sales?
Sales.
Okay. Lead gen?
I think it's more of helping customer.
Helping customers. Okay.
Advising, helping people with their real estate needs.
Okay. Advising, helping people with their real estate needs. Okay. You were right on. You are in a lead generation business. Okay. Because if you have no leads, you got no business, guys. It's not about advising people, it's really about going out. And so I'm going to use my analogy that you got to talk to a lot of people, right? You talk to a lot of people. There's a class we call Bold. I love the exercise they do there. Call it green dots and red dots. So you're gonna have a lot of red dots. People say no. I've been on the phone today. I've been getting packed up on a lot of news this morning. Okay. And so you're gonna get a lot of no. But then it's gonna be somebody that say yes at one point, right? And that's what you got to do. You gotta find those people that will say yes. And sometimes, I mean, I think yesterday I probably did like 25 contacts yesterday, and I usually just pursue 20 per day, but I figured today I'm not gonna have a limited day because I'll be with you guys. So I wanted to put in a little more time yesterday. But so 25 people I spoke with yesterday, out of those 25, because it was kind of cold calling yesterday, there were two people. One that was somewhat interested, and one that's like, okay, let's set up an appointment. I'm like, woo, okay, great. Today I did like 50 dials and have 5 people that talk, and 3 of them hang up on. So my point is this: you are in a lead generation business. You have to look for the leads to create business. If you don't look for leads, you don't have business. Okay? So, of course, today we're going to talk about the master and following up to getting those opportunities to become a contract. Okay? All right. Disclaimers, you must comply with the TCPA, blah, blah. Do not call this. Okay. They want us to make sure you guys know this, but don't let it hold you back. Okay, I'm calling everybody here. Now, if somebody say, hey, you're not supposed to call me, click. Respect them and hang up. Don't try to call them. Okay? But sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. Right? I've seen someone passing around like that, where like, you recognize your brothers. You call me, I told you, he apologized. But, so what's the matter today? Because I'm talking to you. And he's not doing this today. So, you guys got a disclaimer, my disclaimer, damn, how many disclaimers can I have? Lord. Okay. So, we talk about keep up really, and we're gonna talk about follow upwardly. You can finish this class in one sentence, really, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna follow the routine of the class because, we need to identify what do we call a lead.
Lead is somebody that is hot enough for a conversation for you that eventually end up getting a sell off of them. A lead is somebody that's kind of like pushing you towards like, okay, I'm looking to purchase.
Yeah, they're ready to buy or sell or that's. Like
Yeah,
in the near future.
We want somebody in the next 90 days that's like, yeah, I want to buy, or I want to look to sell.
The interest.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could put anybody on anything, but if they're not interested in buying, they just.
Sometimes people hang up on you because they're just not in that position, right? I mean, just think about it. There are times when you're dealing with something in your life, somebody call like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, it's not that they have anything personal against you. I'll tell you guys, one of the clarity, we talk about clarity is power. One of the biggest clarity I have is I know of this agent that cold call like 1,000 people a day. This guy's on the phone for 4 freaking hours a day, right? And it gets business, right? So I had the opportunity to sit in on his calling. And what do you guys think I picked up from that day? I just want you to see where your mindset are. What do you think I picked up from this guy that does a lot of cold calling, gets a lot of expired business for several owners and whatnot? What do you think I pick up when you sit down with somebody like that for 2 hours?
Communication skills, maybe, like
Mhm.
being able to like finesse the conversation to win. Negotiation skills, there you go.
I would say just his attitude of
Yeah,
putting that much
Self-motivation.
time in. And
the motivation of not giving up, because I do cold calling every day too, so it's dreadful.
The persistence.
Mhm.
It can take.
So, I want to give you guys this, if you can have the same clarity I have, then you are not going to be ambiguous about making a call. Okay? Because for whatever reason in my head, I'm thinking this guy is just going to be blowing them up. Appointment set up like that, appointment set up like that. Because it doesn't generate about 100 business every year from cold calling. So I sign in and it was a lot of people, hey, don't call me Clayton, don't call me Clayton. It's a nutshell of somebody that's talking to him, right? And you will continue that conversation, keep asking them questions to keep them engaged, and trying to set those, working on setting those appointments. So I'm like, oh, okay. If that's the case, then it's not a problem because sometimes we think that immediate hang up, immediate like, don't talk to me, whatever, it's what everybody is like. No. You gotta understand that people are in their space and time. And if I just got a call a few minutes ago from Orlando, like, hey Gary, this is I don't need another lender friend. I have too many lender friends, right? Can I call you back later on? Come back another time, right? Now, a lot of them that call me, I say, no, I don't want to talk. I want to talk. But every now and then, I'm in a place where I'm feeling good. You take the call, right? You shoot the breeze with them a little bit. That's the same thing with those potential prospects and clients that we have. You know, so it's not about cold calling, by the way. I'm just trying to let you guys know it's okay. Because bottom line is, you gotta talk to a lot of people and to accumulate some leads. And the leads, the more leads you can have in your pipeline, the more business you can funnel. And they have to be active participation, actively. That's why I want you to know you are number one, you are in a lead generating business. Now, however you want to do that lead, you know, some people do it through social media, right? Some people do it through events. However, you can create a lead, the more of those you can, hey, I'm interested in selling, I'm interested in buying, the more you can create in your pipeline. That's how you generate, that's how you have a business to run. Okay.
Excuse me, this is Omar from Zoom. Is it possible to lift the camera a little bit? It's showing the floor only, so we can't see your expressions.
Moment, this,
The actual camera.
wait, no, you gotta tilt it. So there you go. Can you see me now?
No, actually, it got disconnected, I think.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Let's focus. Great pleasure. You're right, you definitely wanna see, thank you. It got disconnected?
Yes, I know we can't see anything. It's just your name of the screen.
All right, thank you. We got somebody coming, okay?
All right,
Anybody else
thank you.
on Zoom besides you? Is there anybody else on Zoom?
I think we are just two. There's
Okay, two.
Christian and me, yeah.
Camera is disconnected, and they say they can't see me, they just send the flow, so they say right now it's
Oh.
disconnected. Can you hear right there?
Oh,
This is perfect, thank you.
All right, awesome, I got it. Okay, so anyway, we get the understanding that we've got to look for leads, we gotta look for opportunities. We have to constantly, and you know, I do affirmation with some wonderful people every morning. And they're always reluctant to talk about the doing of stuff. You know, they like affirmation around and great salesperson, this person and that person, and I want to have this thing, I want to have that, I want to have a blessed day, I want to, you know, but in the middle is the activity, and we have to be comfortable with that. And listen, if you guys can get clarity that if all it takes is 2 to 4 hours, now I'm not really big on 4 hours. Some days it takes me 8 hours, honestly. When I want to make my 20 contact, some days it's just, you got troubleshooting along the way, and I'm committed to that, okay, I gotta get to this contact, I gotta get to this contact. And it can take you a whole day. But usually if you zone in for 2 hours, you're done. I mean, and that's really when you feel like you've done your job. And you know, the energy that comes from, I don't know how many times I can tell you, I've spent time looking for business, and then when I'm done and I'm just chilling, the business comes. And I always wonder about that. Is the energy you put out that brings them back in? Because the days I'm not doing those activity, those calls don't come true. So, you know, there's this power and energy. My God is still like, Gerry, you're gonna put in and talk about energy. Slide here. All right. Oh, please. Right. Okay. So today's agenda is basically how to convert a lead to an appointment, right? We're gonna talk about what it takes when you find a lead, what are the things you need to do to create, because a lead is just a lead, right? You have contacts. Again, let me just kind of retreat my step of this. And including people in Zoom, I want you guys to repeat after and say, I have to make a lot of contacts.
I have to make a lot of contact.
You gotta say, powerfully. I have to make a lot of contacts
I have to make a lot of contacts
to find leads.
to find leads.
I have to furnish my lead
I have to furnish my leads
to become an appointment.
to become an appointment.
And my appointment, I gotta set the appointment
And my appointment, I gotta set the appointment
to set up to get contracts signed.
to get the contract signed.
So either buyer or seller, you need to get to the appointment level, right? But we're gonna focus a little bit more about, you've gotta make the lead, the contacts. However you're gonna make the contact, there's always 2 or 3 avenues that you feel comfortable with. And just pursue them and pursue them and pursue them and stay in them and stay in them. If it's going to events, it's not all about cold calling, but you have to just be really good at outgoing and meeting people. If it's going to events, if it's scheduling an open house, I normally don't do open house, but lately I've been doing some. This past weekend, I did one on Saturday and Sunday. 14 people, it's weird, we both had 14. And the weekend before, I had an open house, I did, that's 41 people came. So you can't predict how many you're gonna make there, yes?
But is your open houses or you ask other agents if you can hold an open house for them?
Well, these are my open houses.
They were.
Yes. We've been blessed that listeners have been coming a little more regular this is. And I usually would turn it over to people to do it, but I'm walking through that. Result is not where I want it. When I started doing the open house, we get a lot more results. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll put in some more time to this. But what my point is, even open house, you can't guarantee how many people you're gonna meet there. All right? So I did one open house 2 weeks ago, 41 people, 35 people the next day. Even last weekend, the weekend before, I did one 29 people, but you can't predict that. So this past weekend, it was 14 and 14. So if you just waited the whole week to the open house time, what if you got 2 people that showed up? Your week just got shot. So you've got to be in the lead generating business. You got to look for those opportunity. Talk to as many people, and then if you have a bonus, great, right? So our focus is how to turn this lead how to convert them to appointments. What are the things we need to do? Once we get them to raise their hand, like, hey, I'm thinking about this. Obviously, if you guys are new in the business, you're probably going to deal with mostly a lot of buyers, right? So I want to kind of give you guys a skill on how you turn a buyer into an appointment. Okay, or maybe I'll just give you my perspective because I do a lot of business. Okay, churches we have like, I don't know, 13 escrows right now, and 7 of them are buyers. And it's not I go out now help them to show purpose either. Okay, so affirmation. Everybody read that together.
The effort you give to convert leads must match the effort you give to generate them.
Can we do that again?
The effort you give to converting leads must match the effort you give to generating leads.
Okay, what does that mean to you guys?
The same way we.
Generating is as important
As much as-
converting.
As far as we call them, we have to, be persistent in one.
And so they say that, and I think without a doubt, that's so right. that most top producers lose business in lead follow-up. And that's so true. And I'm telling you, even as thorough as I am with my lead follow-up, every now and then, I call a lead I have down, like this person, they were gonna sell, I need to follow up with them, and then 3 months later, I look, the freaking house is on the market already. All right, so, I had a great example. I went to sit down with this guy. It's a probate sale. He's getting the letters of administrator, meaning the authority to be able to sell the property. He told me I want to list it for, I want at least 800,000. I want cash deal. I'm like, okay. So I was going to ask him some questions around the property, like, okay, do you have an AC in here? He said, no. But he said, this is what I want. I said, okay, when can we talk about it? He said, let me get the paperwork on the top. And I reached out to him a month later, like, are you ready? You know, blah, blah. No, I don't have paperwork yet. And then when I reached out to him a month later, he said, I sold the house already. I'm like, damn, what do you mean you sold the house? And I looked, the agent that put up the house on the market, it was 1 day on the market. It listed for 875 and it was gone in 1 day. He didn't get a cash buy. It was a nice property. I was actually thinking of doing business with that property myself. So is the power in the lead follow up? Somebody else got a hold of the guy and they got it on the table, and the guy listed it for 875 and he got it 875. You know, there's some lessons to learn every day, you know, in this business. You're not going to get it all, but could you have done something better to catch up with that person to get the opportunity? So we got to put in as much energy. And I'm gonna keep banging you guys on the lead generation part, because that's where the most energy, because there's a lot of energy that's going out there before you can pull anything, right? But you have to do that. If you don't do that, you don't have this other small one to follow up on. You guys follow what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, so the lead conversion process, consistently getting every possible appointment from the lead you generate is complicated, but it doesn't require preparation, practice, and purposeful action. So basically, you gotta capture the lead, connect with them. Like, let's use the example of that gentleman that was gonna sell this house. I captured the lead. It was actually a referral. One of the neighbors called me up and said, hey, I know this person that's gonna probably be selling their house. Let's go meet him. And so we went and connected. The guy was kind of struggling to stand up. He was a tall guy, probably like 6'8", maybe something like that. And I'm like, okay, you try to connect and find out what's going on with your body, blah, blah. I give him something that I said, let me bring something back for you that's gonna work for you, that's gonna make your body, your arthritis to go down, that kind of stuff. And I went and I delivered that to him. So, and he said, thank you. It's a way of connecting, but you still gotta do the lead follow-up. That's what we're gonna talk about today. So you capture the lead and find how you can connect with somebody. Everybody, there's a way to connect. There's gonna be something, if you ask enough questions, there's gonna be something about that person that you can relate to. But don't lie about it. Be authentic about it, right? That's pretty cool. The tattoo you have in your hand. How did you decide to have that?
Well, couple tattoos, but one of them is my last name,
Okay,
and this represents 3 roses because of 3 people that mean a lot to me.
okay, cool. That's really cool. Now, I can't have a tattoo in my hand, but I always appreciate it when people do it for the hard work, right? My point is, I'm not the kind of person that has tattoo in my hand, but can I connect with somebody that have it and find a way to make them feel comfortable around me? You guys what I'm saying? So when you create a lead, you gotta find a way. You go to that person's house, you see a race car. Oh, do you do races? Tell me about that. And they go, oh yeah, I bought this car, I put it together. And even though you don't do that, but you be interested in it. And people feel when you're interested in their work, right? And they're gonna share it all with you. Guess what? You just kind of line up with them. So I remember one client told me, I went to his house and he's got this really nice Corvette, a old one, but it's really, really well done. So I spent time talking to him about it. So he didn't believe that I'm a Corvette kind of guy too. Right? I would never run a sports car. I can tell you that. So many months later, they moved from here to Atlanta. I actually went, because I sold like 3 houses for him up here. And when I went to Atlanta, I called him up. Hey, Notice, where you at? He said, what do you mean, where am I? I'm in Atlanta, I want to see you. It's like, shit. I said, okay. And so it was like, you have sports car, I forgot. Again, I'm not really into sports car that much. But he didn't believe I'm a sports car collector like he is, right? So of course it's in Atlanta. I mean, I did refer him out to another agent there, so I still make some money off of him over there. And he's bought 2 or 3 homes since he moved over there. So it's just connecting well with people. You find what matters to them and has questions about it, and boom, that's where the connection comes into play. And when you connect well with them, guess what? They're gonna want to do business with you. People do business with people they like. And it's our job to find what's gonna make them like you. Okay. All right. And the other thing I would say, connecting and then cultivate to close. What would be a closing?
Setting up an appointment.
Thank you. Setting up an appointment. Please don't hold back on saying, hey, I want that job. I'm asking for you to give me that job. Asking for the order. And even if they don't hear you the first time, say it again. I want the opportunity to serve you and your family or you yourself, whatever that you are, so we can get things done. All right. Okay. So there are 3 ways of connecting with people, right? There's the possible business, there's a probable business, there's a profitable business, right? What do you guys think is a possible business?
It's meeting somebody for the first time and telling them what you do and just talking to them, like you do yourself.
I mean, I would say somebody who, said, hey, I'm thinking of buying, this year. But I don't know how to get started, something like that, just something.
Awesome. So there's the idea of business, right? Which is a possible business. I'm thinking, I think we need to move, but we don't know if we're ready for it, right? So it's possible business. You just stay in contact with that person. I started this business. I didn't know that. Okay. I'm saying that now. It feels like an old guy. When we used to use index card. With index card, you write down that person's name, what they're gonna do, and you just go back and look at those index card. But now we have this thing called command, right? If we all use it right. It's funny, I went to family reunion and I went to command place and the lady opened up command. I'm like, when I open that command, it always show me like 82 tasks that I haven't done yet. I'm like, what the hell? So I call my assistant, like, what's going on? What do you do with command? You need to get some more training. She put me to work yesterday. We were calling all these tasks. And again, it was those tasks that we were calling. Some of this lead came into command. She was saying 2023, 2024, that we never, I don't know, we'll call back, maybe we'll put on a Facebook ad and it came in. And but we were making those calls and we set up an appointment off of it. So you just never know with those things. It's just doing them right. So then you have the probable business. Probable meaning maybe a buyer that needs to be qualified, right? I'm going to give you guys an advice of what shift my business with buyers very well. You guys really need to learn. Let me just give you my example, right? In the beginning, I will meet with a buyer. Maybe an open house, somebody's like, okay, I'm thinking about buying a home. Are you pre-qualified? No. Okay, let me connect you with a great lender. And I connect them with a lender, right? And the lender will usually follow up with you and to let you know. But then if they don't qualify, the lender is going to discard them. And you don't hear from them because, that person doesn't qualify. So I had a coaching call. You guys gonna hear some excerpt from a coaching call. I've been in coaching for a long time. And this coach told me, he said, Gerry, why do you let your business go away? I'm like, what do you mean? Let my business go away. Don't wait till the lender qualifies before you make them your client. Make them your client before you connect them with a lender. And this little shift in my perspective, it changed getting business, when you're doing like 10, 15 business, you're doing 25, 30 business. It really did. When you meet with someone, meet with them very, very well with them. Find out, what's your credit like, what's your income like. So I will recommend if you're new, find out lender classes that we have here. We have classes that lenders come and they tell you about different programs and really take them in like you're a buyer getting that program down. Okay? Because it's going to help you to better talk to people and see what program will work for them. Okay? So when you take them in, now when you find that they don't qualify, you're not going to discard them like a lender would. Right? You're going to say, okay, these are the things we need to do to get you guys to qualify. That's your probable business. I just got an email. I had a buyer that was pre-qualified with this lender, but this lender doesn't want to credit. They asked the buyer, and I saw her credit, she showed me a credit karma. So we're like, okay, she's good. And we went into escrow and they pulled a credit up, and her credit had dropped to like 498. So that was in December. This is, where are we, March now? In February. And again, 498, most people will say, you're done, right? And I just took a minute to look and see what happened. When you have a new collection reported in your credit, it can take you down like that. And collection, most people don't see it. You don't see it coming until it pop up, for you. And she had a couple of them that pop up, so you just drop 100 points and 100 points. Right? So we went and corrected, called the collection company, got them to remove it. And that was in December. So at the end of February, we took that to 686 FICO score. So when I put an offer for her, the lender called me up and Gerry, this person was 480 something. gonna happen. I said, let me send you the new credit that I see. And I had a not credit card. I said, go run into TransUnion so we can see more appropriate card, you know. So if you just vet people well, you'll get better opportunities, is my point. Okay, take time to vet people out to see what's gonna work well for you. Okay. And then your profitable business, obviously, are people that are solid. We need that, those kind of people. But if you're honest for those, you have some business, but you don't have all the business. Right? So let me get off. I'm always getting off my class, but you know, if you guys listen to me very well, you're still gonna get value in it. So there's 4 of us in this class. I don't know how many people are online. So it's 3 people. This is the rule of thumb. You're gonna get 1 and 1 that clicks very well with you. You like each other. You talk together. You do the same kind of thing. You have the same kind of family. You have this kind of upbringing. It just flows well. Right? You're gonna have that second person that just like he has his hands right now at Kimbo, where it's a baby. They may, you know, what you say may make sense to them, or it may not make sense to them. They're just kind of, they are not for you, and they are not against you. You guys follow me? You're gonna have the third part person that don't like you at all, that you don't get along with at all. You don't like anything that she does, she doesn't like anything that you do. Now, how the business is going to go, most people stay in the flow of people they get along with. Okay? That's where most people stay. To be a great salesperson, to be a top producer, you've got to make your skill improve close to that person that's not for you but not against you, to pull them up to you. Okay? And now I'm going to tell you, I'm at my level of life or my level of business is I want to go after that person that hates me and find skill or mannerism to get that person to come to bed with me. Okay? Those are not easy. Those are the tough ones. Okay? But when we get to that level, you really be operating very well with your business. You guys follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Connecting with that person. Connecting with the person that it's gonna teach you the most, because I feel like if I do that right now, since I have the least amount of experience, that's how I'm gonna gain the most amount of experience. Trying to deal with those people that might not trust me yet, might not fully be convinced that I might be ready for the position that I'm chasing after right now. That way I can see whether maybe it might be things that I still have to work on. Maybe I could present myself a little bit better, come off, start the conversation a little bit different to kind of engage them more before it's just like, you know.
Well, you know, so I love what you're saying, and yet I'm gonna say go for your Arabian fans now. Okay, you go for your Arabian fans first. People who like you, people who get along with you, go for them hard first, right? And then you start reaching out to that next level of people, right? You know, it's kind of like when I think about my college days, Dr. Zachariah, he was a professor I had in college. I took him for, I think, like philosophy, those kind of weird classes, you know, this mind thinking classes. And everybody gave this guy, because to get a C out of his class, he's gonna walk you. And this guy reads so many books, you know, it doesn't matter what you quote, he's gonna tell you this is a courtroom, this is a book, like, yeah, you don't leave. But so everybody just want to get along in this class, like if I can find a way to get a B out of that class, I'm on. Yeah, okay. But you kind of student that was like I want to get on with him. Because number one, he's a really smart guy, right? And but it's not an easy to go person. I remember back in the days, I'll go to USC library, just studying and studying. And whenever I'm taking this class, I I do not so well in other classes. I can easily, do well because I put in so much time to this guy's class because it was difficult, and I actually got 1 A out of his class. But my point is, some people are like that. They're just gonna work you a little bit more than others, right? And but yeah, you want to go for your raving fan first, okay? Go for your raving fans first. People that connect with you, that you guys jar well, boom, boom, boom. You want to go for them. And when you have enough of those business, you start reaching out to the next level. Okay. Any question, any comments on Zoom?
No, just the biggest aha for me was that most people lose business in following up with leads, not with obtaining them. This was a big aha for me.
That's so right on. Can you give us a little bit more about on that?
I mean, like sometimes you can run the ads, you can be on social media, and then people would reach out to you. But if you don't put the same effort in knowing how to convert them, then they are just wasted. You're wasting money.
So I just shared one earlier on about the ones that we've missed for years and we went back into it and got an appointment. It's
I just, maybe like a brain of thought, is just connecting with people is, just treat them like human beings. Like right now, I just got my cousin-in-law, he wants to, buy a house. I literally just talked to him like a human person. I'm like, hey, I'm doing real estate now. Do you guys have any questions? He's like, yeah, like I've been trying to buy a house for the past year. Just a lot of realtors don't want to take me serious because I'm a first time buyer and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, don't worry, I'll help you out. And we're trying to get them approved right now. So
awesome. That's great. That's great. Okay, all right, we're still back to this thing, back to how to convert a lead to an appointment. Okay, so let's talk about how we can turn, what are the steps that we need to take to actually get an appointment? Okay. So again, the lead capturing is defined as collecting the minimum amount of valid contact information for potential buyer or seller. So what are those minimum information we want?
Well, name, email address.
Your name, phone number, and email address, right? For command to be, for you to look really good on command, if you can get the address, that's really, really, especially when they are potential sellers, right? But you don't know who you don't know until you have them put an address down and check like their own home. Because they maybe wanted to upgrade their home. I want you guys to always look. Always have your antenna up when you are around people. What do I mean by that? Huh?
listen to every conversation.
Yeah, have your antenna to see everything about people. Know information you can get on them. When you're talking, even though you're looking for, maybe you're doing an open house, you're looking for buyers, but find out who needs to sell to buy, right? That's how you get listings sometimes. Somebody can come to your open house and they are in a smaller house and they want to buy a bigger house. But if you're just looking to sell, you don't see, you don't hear like, oh, we may be thinking about moving up. We're in a house with one bathroom now, and it's just not enough. We need to have at least two bathrooms. So you have to have your antenna up to hear what people are saying, to create those opportunities. Okay, so capturing the information is making sure you get the name, the phone number, email address, and when possible, get the physical address. Because number one, part of your assignment here is to get people's address to send them a card. Because that's when you become more connected. Believe it or not, people think mail don't work because we do so much social media, but the truth is it does work. When you send a mail to say thank you to people, they are touched by it. I don't know, when I get a mail, I have a letter for a client, or they send me a Starbucks cup for $5. I was elated about it. I really wanted to go give the guy another business. Now, it was interesting. So I'm like, let me apply that to my business because I felt good receiving that card, right? So I'm like, okay, when somebody tell me of a referral, I'll send them a $5 card. And I sent it, this one lady coming back, Gerry, what the hell are you doing with your business? It's simple. It's $6, you know, because if I take one little jug of coffee, I will gas up for the whole day. So I don't. But I appreciate it, you know, so you just gotta find out what works for you. Okay. So conversion framework. If I were to need a contact, if I were to need to contact you, what would that number be? Isn't that kind of cool question? I like that. So again, this is how, when you have conversation with people, you know, enough, you'll find ways. Does most people like to be direct? Does most people like to be direct in asking a question? They automatically see direct question as you're being aggressive. So you're still asking the same question, but you're changing it around just a little bit. So you're putting ownership in their pocket. You guys follow that? So because I could just say, hey, what's your phone number? For me to call you up. But if you turn it around, just this little simple things you do, the words that you say makes a whole lot of difference. If I find exactly what you are looking for, how would I contact you? Right? If I found out that information you are wanting, how would I get it to you? I'm supposed to give me a phone number so I can call you. And then, or they may give you the wrong number really because of that. But if you ask them just a little softly, this is what I call soft questions that can get people, you know, I was doing an open house this weekend, and I asked this lady, like, if you don't mind, the seller would like for you to sign in, and she wanna sign in. Then we started talking, right? We started talking, and she's like, you know, I said, you know, talk to me, who are you, you know, are you just checking the neighborhood out? And he said, no, I say, it looks like you're a homeowner already. He said, yeah, you are, you're correct, I am. But I'm kind of still looking for another way. So we started talking more about, look, I love somebody like you, you've seen value in building well with your home. Why can't you do it again? And she said, yeah. So at the end of the day, she said, you know what, let me give you another number. It's because she now felt connected that she now want to bring the right number, because you know they can give you the wrong number. I had a few people I called back today that was wrong numbers. Right? So it's one of those. Either you ask the right question. So when you just tell them to go register, it's like a direct way, right? But if you had a good conversation and you ask this kind of question, it brings something different out. You know, the authenticity come out and you get the right information. Connecting. All right. So somebody read that first one.
Embed your value proposition in in the conversation.
Okay. So if in the conversation, they feel your passion for what you do and how you want to help them, you connect well with them. You guys follow that? If they can feel the passion for what you do, like I really love when I can help a family own their first home and change their life, right? Whatever that thing you say. And when people start feeling that passion from you, then now they're connecting like, okay, I want this guy to help me, I want this lady to help me. So that's the connecting part. That's like the lady that came in signing, that when we started talking about investing and all that stuff. Oh, let me give you, when you do your seminars, let me give you the right number you can text it to. It's when you feel connected. Okay, role play and practice conversations. Okay, I think that's kind of like, well, let's all stand up for a second. Yes. Those of you on Zoom, if you can get out of mute and let us, we can have but no, if you guys are talking, we're gonna hear them. Sorry, guys. All right, so this one is I want you to say hello to the person across from you and just start a conversation. And I want to find out what you know about each other after 2 minutes. Let's go.
So,
It's Katie. I'm sorry. We gotta read it. The lady in the truck. Oh, the little small ones, the big ears. I know that I have a husky and a German Shepherd.
Nice.
And then the German Shepherd.
I could say,
Yeah, I was trying to get here early today and I had to walk. She was like shaking.
They're like big, like.
Yeah, the German is huge. I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty big.
I think
Like,
and
yeah, so I mean, that's what I remember about you, like the San Pedro.
So,
And then,
but
trying to remember what else we talked about so far.
Yeah, so
I did not
Glendora
pay for the DRA fees
is,
yet. I haven't,
East,
because my direct deposit hasn't hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was just there.
Yeah, a lot of people confuse it with Glendale.
Really?
You gotta do two
LA
trainings
is
with
really
them.
big.
For real? I didn't.
Learning.
What is that about?
This morning was like the MLS, they walk you through the actual
coming.
system, how to
Yeah.
use it, so it's like, that's actually pretty good.
You know how many people?
That's just more
Yeah,
systems.
I mean, I kind of want to learn to use the MLS. So, yeah, I feel like once you learn the MLS, but
it is a big
you
place.
just have to be over there.
Exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah. I need to pay too much attention.
You gotta do this, man.
Hopefully.
And it's gonna go by like
Oh, I
that.
know.
You spend money
Trust
me.
planning
Maybe it's
it.
next time we're gonna-
Yeah,
Probably this-
Big complaint.
The one in Pisa.
Yeah.
The one that's north is
By the
Just
lighthouse,
have fun.
like by the Korean Bell.
Don't pay attention to what's not going as planned.
The only thing that I remember, I think I've been to one in PB, and it has like that landslide, and it's really big, and then like when you look out, you can like look into the water. You know what I'm talking
Maybe, but I think it's more
The
like
funnest
up.
weddings are happy.
Yeah,
weddings.
there's one like if you go all the way to
You guys
that,
have
just
fun.
all the way to the end.
about? That's one of the
That one's nice.
When I usually go to the one in Lexington,
So I
though,
used to.
right when you
Chinese
get off of
medicine
the 105 on Imperial, you know what I'm talking about? On
I
the-
think so, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, that's what I usually go to, and then that one also has like a little view of like,
How was
everything,
it?
and, like, things to take off. But yeah.
I love
I need to
my
start taking my dogs to
teammates.
parties.
It was all
I do,
about-
I'm not gonna lie, especially now that I'm here, it's like,
Yeah,
this time,
Because
yeah, time has
everybody-
been stolen
you
from
showed
me,
up
from
to work
my
and
girlfriend.
They were your
10,
friends. Yeah.
9,
We were out here, what are we doing?
Eight.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was younger, and then
7,
more, they got into car sales now.
Oh, awesome.
6.
Now it's bigger.
Alright. Awesome. All right, so let's just find out a little bit about what, when we are purposeful, what we find out about insurance. So tell me a little about him. Congratulations.
And they're planning a huge wedding, 200 people.
Nice, okay,
They've been planning it for a year and a half.
all right.
And he's been an agent since January, so very new.
Okay, so let's kind of troubleshoot, what ideas can we give him to create business opportunity from his big occasion? Because if you're gonna so make sure somebody is there to get everybody's email address and one number, right?
But you know what can be like, actually, I mean, when you think about it, is you can say, hey, provide us your home address. We want to send out a thank you.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah. So generally, if you have the first person fill everything out, everybody usually follows suit. Right? If the first person didn't fill, they just put their name, guess what? That's what you're gonna get all the way. So if you have somebody monitor where the first person fill out everything, you're gonna see people just follow through
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna have my first 20
Yeah.
people.
So, I used to work on a cruise ship as an acupuncturist. And what we learned is that if you wanna have a sign-up sheet to fill your appointments, just make up the first few lines.
Yeah. There you
Put
go.
all the information in there and then people will just. fill it
People
like
follow through.
family that you know already, put their name, phone number, address, I mean, you know it already. But so you just put it there, that's actually smart, and then people will be like, all right. And if somebody asks like, why, it's like, oh, we want to send a thank you card for you guys coming in.
They have it.
So your wedding is your event right there.
We have half of them already. Well, we try to do everything digital,
Yeah, but that's the thing, everybody does the digital stuff too.
It's just cheaper that way.
But if you have their email addresses already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have their email address.
Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, alright. You can do 250 people in command like that. And so, now, let me give some clarity and numbers, okay? I think I was sharing with people, I went to a family reunion, I met this agent. God, this guy knows his number like, boom, he knows his number very well. And, numbers is that if you have 250 people in command with all their information, right? You can generate 12 pieces of business every year from that. Because of people it's like 12 to 2 where leads come to you. If you do due diligence and contacting people So I always tell people, people say they want cold calling, great. It's 50 to 1 when you go outside of people you don't know. Right? But people is 12 to 2. So that means it's out of 12 people, you're either gonna get business from 2 or you're gonna get referrals for business. So they say that one of the goals is to get 250 people to your database as quickly as possible. And have you, do due diligence and following up with those people. Business will come your way. So it's measurable when you have clarity on those numbers. Okay, I got 200 people coming in. You put, you put that and you have 50 more to it. And then, and the easy contact is, my business can easily come your way, honestly. Okay, good. I'm calling to thank you to come to my wedding. Oh, appreciate you. Hey, I need your help. I just got married, and I'm in this new business. Who do you know that I should be talking to that wants to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in a home? Business will come like that. That's so cool. All right. So,
He's Persian. One of my best friends is Persian. She grew up in Washington, DC. She lives in Glendora, not Glendale, Glendora.
okay.
As well as she did acupuncture and engineering as well.
So when we take time to, now I gotta tell you, as a salesperson, you gotta work on releasing this. Okay. What's the sign of this? When people do this, what does it mean?
Never crossed off.
Not closed off.
You're not open. Information is not coming your way when you close them. So even when you're talking to a client and when they close them like that, do your own closing. And people then feel uncomfortable, like, oh, you know, they release that. And then you release your hand too. And guess what? They release their spirit to you. And now you're free to have a dialogue with them. So you guys gotta watch your body language, you know, when you're dealing with people. Even if it's your style, it just means your style is you're always closed in because you know nobody's gonna talk on the other end when you're like that. So you gotta learn to release. And even when you see people do that, do it with them. And then when they release, you know, release with them.
Mm.
We're not gonna go through everybody's connection, but thank you guys for. But what do you guys see in making that connection conversation?
What do you see?
What
What do you pick up from that?
I mean, we get to learn somebody else, we get to learn their history a bit and, you know, focus as strengths.
Okay, anything else? How do you get to learn the stuff?
making those connections.
Well, talking.
Okay, and is he just talking, or is it because you were asking questions, right?
Yeah.
So the questions you ask about people allow you to know more, right? So unfortunately, we don't talk that much often with one another. You know, I can't get my agents to talk to me unless we go to an event together, and now I'm kind of get to an event, I get to know this person now, right? Because we always want, everybody's always wanting, you know, we're always wanting to the next thing, blah, blah. That's why I love to go to those events. Right. So know the outcome of what you want from the conversation before starting. Use questions to lead the conversation. So in a conversation, who do you guys think is leading the conversation? Is it the person that talked the most or the person that asked the questions?
Ask the question.
Think about that. Because sometimes we want to talk so much. Oh, this wealth of information. This is how you buy. This is how the process goes. And you don't ask any question along the way. You've got to remember to ask a question. Okay, when you are selling your home, what are you looking for in your listing agent? And they tell you, and all you gotta do is confirm what they say and say, okay, I'm gonna be that person. What's holding you up from signing with me now? But if you just go about talking about, hey, I do this kind of stuff, I'm a married person, I've done 100 transactions, I've done this and I've done that, and they don't do that. I mean, sometimes they do, but if you take time to find out what they want, it gets you to the pen signing much quicker. Yeah. What if I'm a realtor and looking for a home? Help us find a home. Help us negotiate the home. Can get us a deal. And just I found like if I can get you the deal, finding a home, negotiate on the home, will you sign up to work with me? Yes. It's a contract. That's fine. Okay, so the 6 connecting questions. Let's all read that together. 1.
Who are they?
Hello?
Or the water.
2.
Or the
Number 3.
Where do they
want or need to do it?
Number 4.
Why do they want or
Or
need
need
to
to
do it?
do it?
Number 5.
When do they want or need to do it?
And number 6.
How do they
have
have to do
So it looks like, is it all now? Like
It's the 5 W's.
What, how, why?
So who, where, why, when, and how, right? So, you know, find out who they are, right? who's the buyer? Sometimes you will be talking to the wife, and the wife is like, "No, it's my husband." You're talking to the husband, or sometimes it's together. Oh, sometimes even though you're talking to wife and husband, it's a wife and mother, or a wife and father that's buying. Know who they are, right? Uh, and so what do they want? You know, what kind of home do they want? Or what do they want from you? Find out, what that may be. If you, these are the connecting questions, right? You're getting to know more of who that person is. So if you meet somebody on Facebook or social media, you want to connect with them. How do you connect with them? It's when you can get these questions one-on-one answered. The more of that you can get, the more you now feel confident that, okay, I know this person very well. I know what they need to do. Let me go help them. Right? Where do they need, whatever, where they want the place to be, and sometimes, can people desire more than they can afford?
Definitely.
Right.
What would you do in that situation? If like somebody is looking to purchase a home, but they've only gotten approved for like a $700,000 loan, but the homes that they're looking for is kind of in like over 1.1, yeah.
Let's explore that together. And I do come across quite a bit of those, right? Especially in today's market, right? Because maybe when the market was 3%, you could afford the million. Because now it's like, it used to be $1 million, you're paying $4,000 money, right? Now it's a $600,000 purchase, right? So what conversation can you have to build that person up without tearing them down, right? And say, okay, so let's go through that together. Let me see somebody on Zoom participate with us. Tell us if you have a client that wants $1 million home, but their payment qualified them for $600,000 home. What can you come up with in that situation? We have any participant?
What I can think of is basically we can sit with the loan officer and maybe put a plan for how we can increase that amount. Like I wouldn't answer these things personally. I would just try to sit down with a partner and see what we can do about this. And maybe it will be like 2 months later or 3 months later, if we just do some tweaks, we can get them a higher loan, for example.
No, they want a higher loan. Because what does a higher loan mean?
Higher payment.
Higher payment.
Like, that's a conversation first you kind of want to have. It's like, okay, look, at 1.5, and you do it at a calculator that we have, just, it's gonna be, I'm making up another number, at $8,000, or instead of $5,000 right now that you are. Is that something you think you can pay every month, right? And there you're gonna, well, look, I don't even make that the whole month, or whatever happens there. But if they do say like, oh yeah, I made $14,000 a month, but the reason why I only got this was because of credit or whatever other reason, right? They might have only for something else. You can talk in about, oh, have you talked to about maybe bringing in a co-borrower, right? A parent, a sibling, somebody who's probably willing to sign the loan with them, so they can probably help out with that limit. Like, there's ways to try to kind of figure out, you gotta ask the questions, right? Like, how much do you earn? Is this something you can afford, right? And things like that.
Well, this is a great connecting question. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because we all come across that. That everything can be uncovered through questions, right? Yeah, I want $1 million home. You're right. Absolutely, you deserve that. Now, this is gonna mean this payment. Are you comfortable with that? No, it's too much for us. So if this is, so let's look at two ways of that. Because this is one or two questions you're gonna get, right? Yeah, I can do that. Let's go for it, right? It's too much for us. You know, I don't think that much. What do you say at that point? Because this is where people lose client, right? Reality bites, and then it's like, oh, I can't. So what can we say to overcome that?
You help them look at their budget and then what they can afford.
Well, I think that's kind of like we're already here now.
We know
Right? They've been told this is what you can afford, right? But you want something more. So now we're asking the question.
Well, I would ask like, okay, I know you're telling me about that $1.5 million home you really like. What is it that you like? Like, I want to find out, like, oh, is it because it has an extra bedroom? Or it has a bigger yard? Like, you kind of want to see their mindset, like, what is it of that house that they like? Sometimes it might just be like, oh, I know, because we've only been looking at twos, but that one's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. And you might be like,
try to find like a.
okay, what if I can find you a property within those parameters that we can find, right? And you start.
You probably ask them like more, so what is it, a house payment? Or what, or, you know, what are your hot buttons? What are you trying to make your main objective, your main accomplishment?
And then the line I've said to people in the past has been, this doesn't have to be your forever home. I know you want to be in that $1.5 million home. We can get there. We just can't get there today. But what we can do is get you in this house. You know, real estate is about time, giving it time, right? With time, your value increases. In, 5 years, we'll stay in touch. We'll keep an eye on the value of the property that you do get. And once we see that what you can do is sell it, use the profits to buy that.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Don't jump to Pedro.
Yeah.
We're still talking about but you are hitting the right point. I love that. This is the skill conversation. And this is the skill connection that we get to have when we launch ourselves into it. Because yes, you're gonna come across quite a bit of that. That's in today's world. Okay? Because honestly, 4 years ago, you buy a $1 million home with $4,000 payment, even as an FHA buyer. Right? But in today's world, it's a $7,000 or $7,000 payment. So if that's not possible, what's a skill conversation we can have without tuning them out, right? And say, right on. I remember, I don't know, like 15, 16 years ago, I had this French lady. She works at an hotel in Hermosa Beach, and so she wants to live close to Hermosa Beach, right? Then she makes like really low income on paper. I think she gets, as a hotel manager, I don't know, they get tips and all that kind of stuff, right? So she does have like $100,000 at that time. Now, this is when the market is still pretty low, right? You can buy in Hermosa Beach for $700. But she doesn't qualify for 700. She qualifies for 300, right? And you can't even find a Redondo Beach $300, place at that time. So every time I have I remember I may have one of my first listing in Redondo, and I just look at she cannot qualify. But I gotta have a home close to Redondo because I work up on a TGR, I work right there. So for 2 years, I kept, when something comes up that's like an auction property, she'll call me up on one of those cash properties, and she doesn't quite have all the cash, even though it's 300. By the way, she got one of 200 because it's funny. She just figured out this. I took her to a couple of auction properties. They started at 269. I remember it was a condo in North Redondo. It started at 249 auction bid. So I told her, go get a $5,000 purchase check and come over so we can go bid for it. If you get to 300, you can compete. But I told her, I said, listen, this condo is worth about 560 at the time. So let's see where it landed up. But that's fixed up. When we get to the place is completely jacked up. You gotta spend like $80,000 to fix it out, at least $60,000 to make it livable. And there was so many people there, so the auction went on. He ended up selling for about 520. Like, all right. Then we went to South Redondo. They have a house, the same auction company. They literally left that one and went to the other one and it was at 269 big. You know, I said, let's go over here. And that one ended up selling for over 700. Cash too. So I'm like, okay, how do I figure this lady to the Watson and Muscle Beach? Sometimes you just have to get creative. So I said, come on down with me one day. And I took her, we drove down on Artesia Boulevard to Inglewood. So I said, listen, on this side is Redondo. On the other side is Lawndale. But it's going down Artesia too. Right?
Yeah.
So let's, if we find you a property right here, it's just a step away from Redondo. And I found a 2-bedroom house for like 269 for her to get it into. So it's being creative with people.
Finding the yes.
And yeah, and it goes to the tone of what you said, because many years later, she sold her house and now she sold it for like 6 something, right? And that gives her the avenue of having 300,000 to put down to buy even a $900,000 home in London. So sometimes it takes that, but it's never turn them down, you know, but ask the questions. Yeah.
You
So this,
never say no.
yeah, these are the connecting questions that we ask to get them buy into like, oh, this person is really interested in me achieving my goal, right? Any comments?
That's really straightforward. I feel like, because I've been going through my SOI like crazy ever since I passed my exam.
Okay.
And then, yesterday I called my best friend and his mom 6 months ago got approved for $600,000 to get a house, but she wants $1 million home. So I told him, I was like,
Does she currently own?
she's renting a house in Downey, in Bell Gardens area.
But she's renting.
But she's renting, but they're from LA. So my guess is like she probably wants to come back home. And now that I got my real estate license, I know for a fact she's not gonna want to deal with anybody but me. So I still need to go over there, but I just wanted to have an answer for her to kind of create the conversation, because I know what happened. I know.
But you might have to get her pre-approved again, just FYI, 6 months, that's a
Yeah,
big gap.
it's yeah, but I do know that she makes money, and I know she makes a handful of money. And I think that's kind of why she got discouraged a little bit from becoming a homeowner. But I really want to make it like my due diligence to
And
get
then find out how much deposit she has. I mean, if she has $400,000 for a deposit, that's your $1 million home.
400,000.
Well, because if she's approved for 6.
So you've got some stuff to work with. Okay. If you need more one-on-one, we can talk on the side.
Okay.
As to other avenues to make opportunity happen.
Okay.
Again, it's finding out different programs that work for people. You have a straight, listen, we just sold a guy came to one of my open house and he told me the house I was open was $1.9 million. And he told me it was approved for $850. And they have a condo to sell. But even from the proceeds of the condo, they got approved for $850. So I said, okay, let me take a look and see if I can show you a way. She said, but I really need a house like this. I need this 5-bedroom or blah. So we sold them on a property that's $1.040 with the same payment that I would have qualified for in $850. It is finding programs that can make people, work for people.
I think Stephanie is admitting that.
So it's just finding programs that can work for people. And that's why I want you guys to be as educated as possible. So you know all the different ways. Don't say because you're not a lender, you don't know anything about what they do. I don't have any aspiration to be a lender at all. Number one, I'm probably not gonna be good at it. So I'm not really good at detail numbers like that, but know it well enough to have conversation with clients, to put them in a place. Because that opportunity got us 2 deals. We sold the condo, we listed the condo and sold it, and we got them a house, they wanted, so. And the listing again, I think she met with them at the open house before too. So she's like, Gerry, you need to help me with what did you use for them to qualify? I will answer her yet. All right. Come on now. Okay. Need to proceed. Okay, so we talk about capture. So we spend a lot of time on connecting, because connecting is where you get people to sign contract with you, right? So the cultivating is really, you can't know, let's all read it together. 1, 2, 3. You can. Association.
But if
But if you're connected with an institutional way, you'll have a great chance of being there.
That's
when
what
you
we'll be
do.
able to close.
That's why you'll be able to close for an appointment. Okay. So what is in the cultivation part? The,
Referrals.
Well, I would say more like
It's a real.
just a follow-up,
Yeah.
just make like not letting them.
It's
Is
like
the-
watering the seed, watering like the plant, because
Water the plant.
it's the follow-up, guys. They say a lot of top producers lose money, even though they make money, they still lose a lot on the follow-up. And hey, I can tell you of so many follow-up I missed. Even though I make a system, I actually hire somebody to help me with the follow-up, because I don't remember. I do have a lot of people reminded of it, so I can't remember it all. So, but I have an assistant that's writing down everything I'm talking to them, to make notes. And even, I just got a call earlier on today, like, I don't remember this lady. My assistant was off today, she called off sick today, so I thought, ugh. So I'm like, can you remind me what we talked about the last time? And she reminded me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. So, you need to do this, you need to do that, So it's the magic in the follow-up. In the beginning of your business, you are everything to yourself, right? You've got to do the continuous follow-up. I remember my first year here, the rookie of the year, Andy, and she left the business now. So you never know with people, guys. You never know. Andy was killing it over here. Now I probably could have competed, but I had some other stuff that happened to me that year. But anyway, I asked him, I said, Andy, how do you do so good to be the rookie of the year? He said, Gerry, when they tell me that they want to buy, I don't leave them alone until they tell me don't call me again. Right? So it's constantly following up. Not every time about asking for business. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, just wanted to see how you guys are doing. Blah, blah. It's constantly following up, finding a way to follow up. Oh, I just want to check in on you guys, how's your weekend going, blah, blah, they're like, the Andy, okay, we okay. All right, we're gonna do it. All right. And so that's what it stayed with. It closed 12 deals in our first year. I think I closed 3 deals in my first year. I can tell you guys the truth. But that's what it did to do really good. And so it's saying, if you sometimes again in the beginning, you're always gonna have, that's what I was sharing with you guys, the 3 different kind of people you're gonna come across, right? We all can flow very well with the person we connect with. But the other people is because we are due diligence in service, that's gonna create that opportunity for them to become a client for it. Okay. So, so anyway, that's how we can capture, and we can cultivate people. And then the, okay, thank you. Okay, I might need to help you. Okay, so I think it's like when this thing is clicked. Nothing else? Interesting. Okay. So, when asking for the appointment, which format do you think is most effective?
In person.
Um,
Like I'm saying, oh, let's meet. I personally, I feel in person.
Yeah.
Let's meet in
I
person.
mean, hey, listen, I had to pivot my business during COVID time.
Oh,
I kind of got good with Zoom now, right? I set so many appointments on Zoom. I can tell you, and I get them to still sign the contract on Zoom. I'm gonna email you the contract, I need to sign it. We'll send it to you, a DocuSign, sign it so we can do the business with you. I think the last 3 listings I signed, I didn't go there, I just emailed it to them. And sometimes I go there and I'm talking to them because I didn't think I was listening or deal with them. Then it's good enough, like, okay, all right, I'm gonna have somebody from the office send it to you and sign it. And sometimes I'll stay there, but I need the older person to make sure I can never navigate through, sign it document. But yeah, it really doesn't matter. When possible, in person is always a great thing. When possible, it's in person is always a great thing. My brand consultation, 80% of them is on Zoom right now. And because I give them that option, hey, because they may be living further away from here, we've done a lot of this in the valley. I'm not going to the valley. I actually find out a way to show, pay somebody $50 to go open the door for them. And get a name. But whatever that may be, if they are right here, like, hey, how far are you from times? Oh, no, not too far, great. Let's meet in person so we can talk. Right? If you meet in person, it's definitely more personal. The Zoom works very well, honestly. It works very well, at least for me. I'm cool with it. But again, you want to ask for the order. You want to ask for the order. You want to ask for the order. You want to ask for the order, okay? Don't be shy about that. You're talking to your best friend. Hey, let's take it away from the best friend. Let's take it to business, right? I want to apply for the job of being your representative on this deal, right? Ask for the order. They were like surprised that, oh, you tell me, no, let's sign the contract. You're gonna give me 3 months, you're gonna give me 6 months, what's, non-binding agreement is under 3 months.
Give me the whole life.
Maybe we represent you forever.
So, well, my agreement is 3 months.
Yeah.
So before I used to make it 6 months. But now it's 3 months, but whatever that may be, I just want you guys to ask for the order. The person that gets it is the person that asks for it.
Those mouths never get fed.
Okay? So always ask for it. Don't be shy about it. Okay.
So email was the most effective way? Or in person?
It's, yeah,
Oh.
that's like he's on Zoom and like it just depends on the circumstance.
Now, you have some millennium that they just text.
Yeah, I heard it with
Yeah.
like 3 classes
It's
ago.
text,
I
text.
said that, huh?
Some people are leaving a message for them, they text me like that. And I'm like, golly. Yeah, it was very nice. But, no, how do you write, for things to be done? Text me, I'll text you back. There's an agent in Mississippi or so, this lady does a lot of crazy business for an individual agent. She does like 155 deals as an individual agent. And I kind of see that because every time I've like, let me reach out to her, it's always a text right back, text right back. She never pick up the phone. We did a deal, we didn't do a deal today, but we were in like a mastermind together. And I like, but I can see for an individual to do 155 deals, you know, this guy's right. I'm on a text all the way long, all day long. And I see, I'm on a Facebook page, so I see activity, she got married now, so I don't know if she's gonna slow down. Because, okay. So let's read it together.
In the end, if they can meet and have a good enough reason to meet, they will meet. And if they don't, they won't. And that's okay. You really don't care what their answer ultimately is because you're not getting people to do anything they don't want to do. You're just going to ask and respond until they agree that meeting with you makes sense or it doesn't. Either way, you both win.
And that's the truth. You at the end of the day, you're not gonna make people do what they don't want. Right? My phone has been banging. I had this lady that I probably spent like a whole year to move her tenants of her house. And we put the property up in the market, the buyer's ready to close, and she's not billing out. But she's 70 something years old, and I've been there with other folks where I don't want to get, trouble, that kind of stuff. But it of course pisses you off, like you put in time. This year, the first day of the year, I literally came out of church, and what came to my mind is, how do I get those tenant cash keys? Because those tenants have been very difficult. But anyway, my point is, you can't make people do what they don't want to do. You just gotta allow them to be, but you gotta stay in there, to get the conversation going, to get the opportunity, and asking for the order so we can get the deal done. Okay? Any aha so far on this last session? Capture, connect, and close.
Asking for the order and what you said about Andy, the rookie of the year, when she mentioned when they tell me they want to buy, I never leave them alone. That enthusiasm to make sure you go get your money. If you hear money is calling, then make sure you never hang up that phone.
I love that. Any aha for you?
Just show your passion, and let that be contagious almost, right? Let them connect to you, ask questions, let them have the conversation, lead the conversation.
Awesome. All right, cool. Okay, I'm trying to figure out some slides. Okay. So we're talking about now how we can improve your conversion rate. How do we improve that? Of course, it's gonna be in just how tenacious you are with people. Converting them from a maybe to an actual appointment. It's gonna be how well you stay in contact with them. And the person that stays in front of them more eventually get the business. The person that stays in front of them more eventually get the business. So be that person. Okay. So improving your conversion ratio, of course, is spending time to make those contacts, right? Do those follow-ups. Spending time, one of the things that we have employed in my business, I was losing a lot of opportunities too. Because Cause I really love calling, cold calling especially. And I'll do it. But I even forgot, this person I talked to that was gonna do, some leads, they used to just escape me by. So I had to get diligent and say, okay, Wednesday is my follow, it's still my lead generation, but it's my lead follow-up day. So every potential lead or somebody, even if you're talking to somebody and they kind of keep quiet on the phone, like they were thinking, and then they say no, I will put them on a lead follow-up. Because I know something was causing them to kind of hold back and before they say no. So I'll follow them up a week later. Hey, I know we're talking, you told me what you want. I'm just curious, is there anything more that I should have asked you? And then you see them start coming out with something else. So lead follow-up, use systems and conversations. Systems in how you do it, right? System is how you do it, set up a day, a time that you're gonna, if you're, maybe you do a full call, some people will call in the morning and they do the follow-up in the evening. The leads they have, they'll follow up in the evening. Whatever that may be. But have a day where somebody that kind of give you an idea, follow up with them because sometimes it's in the follow-up that you bring more stuff out of them. Because really, when I'm doing lead generation, I don't want to do too much talk with somebody. And I need to give them my contacts, right? So, but in the follow-up, we are more relaxed, and then you're more connecting with people, right? And if you do more of that, you eventually get an appointment with them. Connecting with your old database. That's where the money is at, guys. Even when you're doing cold calling, your goal is to move those cold callers that you connect with to your database. And then make sure you're always connecting with them on database. Either you're emailing, you're sending something to them of interest. Even if it's just my assistant send out a Merry Christmas thing on Christmas Day. And then we get somebody that send an email like, hey, how's the condo market in your area? And I'm like, oh, that 100% help for that. Because I didn't ask her to do that. I love that. I didn't tell her to do that. She did it. So it is, it was just a Merry Christmas thing, right? And so probably on Christmas morning, they send out a response like, hey, how's the condo? You just never know. We actually had a couple of other people, but those people didn't find out to do it. But the condo people we listed the condo. And then prioritizing your qualified leads. So the ready to go now, always hit them first, right? And then you go to the next level of people. So in both, we used to have A, B, C buyers. A buyers is qualified, ready, approved to go, right? A B buyer is they're qualified, but they're not very motivated. I have a lady like that in my service. It's like so qualified, but you cannot make the right kind of offer. I've put every skill I can, I put every person I can. Maybe one of these is, but she actually sent me something that was appropriate that she put an offer on. The agent told me our offer was too low on it. And when the property closed, it closed for $18,000 less than she offered. So she reminded me, like, you always act like I don't know what I'm doing or whatever. This one. You can learn, you can know it all, right? You can know it all, but God, I hope I get on. We've been close with this lady, but that's probably what. So we're so we don't come to her unless we dry it up. You see what I'm saying? Because I know that one's not very motivated. It's got to fall into our lap for her to say yes to it. So go find those buyers. Sometimes you take them out one day, boom. You got them in escrow like that. you gotta know who those are. And the other ones, there's a gentleman on a group call I have regularly. He was working with this one buyer, Lord. You can't have, that's why you can't have just one client. You've got to have, you just got to do, again, let me go back to the beginning. Let me go back to the beginning. Let me go back to the beginning for everybody, okay? Everybody, stand up a bit, because I need the energy up. Okay. So I have to make a lot of contacts. I have to get leads.
To get
leads.
I have to prioritize my leads.
I have to prioritize my leads.
To get appointment set.
To get appointment sets.
And when I have my appointment,
And when I have my appointments,
I want to go for the close.
I want to go for the close.
Get the contract signed.
Get the contract signed.
All right, give somebody else a call. Okay. So it's really the core of what we do. We generate like, and I can give you stories of agents that they generate very well and their life is turned around. I remember this one guy, when he came here, I think he was driving like a Camry or something. By the time I left here, he had a Lamborghini. Okay, but the guy was, oh my gosh. I mean, I love to regenerate. This guy was at a different level. It would do it from morning till night. I'm telling you, 6 o'clock at night, it's still on the phone. Sometimes when I'm leaving around 8, he's doing something. In a very short while, and he had not been going for 6 months like that. Here's a commercial guy. In a very short while, he started getting malls. I mean, I'm talking crazy, 4 million over here, 4 million B. He left there with a Lamborghini. I don't know, I believe he moved to another state or something. But it's just what you choose to do and really empower yourself in it. I'm focused on, okay, if you can do 10 a day, know it's 10 a day, and don't deviate from that. Know that your day is not up until that 10 is done. So because I'm a student of both, and both teaches to do 20 a day. So I'll kind of put 20 as my routine. But I make it every day. But some days I do over it. Right? So I'm looking forward to this weekend off. Since I came back from family, I haven't had a day. It's been every day of lead generation at some level, whatever. And some days have been really good, some days are terrible. So I'm looking forward to this weekend at the house. So that's what we're in. We want to do a lot of that so we can have business. We can have business. I'm getting excited because I'm almost hitting my goals in terms of what I wanted to see in pending deals. That's very exciting when okay, you have things coming, but you have to put in the work to get that. So again. So get back to the beginning here. Okay. Are we done here, guys? I don't know. Okay, so we got to the prioritize qualified buyers. So maybe it's just getting us so we get all. Okay, so the lead conversion model, you capture, you connect, you cultivate, you close by asking for the appointment. Okay, so you want to capture, meaning get anything you can have of them. If you do an open house and people come there, those are captured, right? Because they put the information down for you, right? So if you call in or if you go to an event, capture by getting people's info. One thing that I find out with command, if you go on command, if you go where your picture is at, and you go down, you see my business card, like where, you have a QR code, they can click on it and get all your information. And I think, there's a way you do that, where it's shared, where you can get their information and boom, you upload it to command. So, you want to get as many information and once you get your first thing, maybe the name and phone number, the next thing is to go to the email and the address, yes.
Can you connect command to link, when you scan something?
Yeah, so, I probably, a lot of people were doing that, I don't know how they did that. Actually, somebody gave me set up my Blink, and, is it connected to command? I don't know, I'm not
I
sure.
did, well,
Value would know. The front row,
Yeah.
he's really, really good with.
because that would be a great way of just getting.
Yeah.
Your contacts in there.
Okay. All right. Question, you guys pick up, the job is done when you guys say, okay, I'm gonna go do this thing, that you're not doing before. So let's kind of go through the room and, on Zoom, and tell me what are you going to implement going forward? If it's a mental disposition, if it's an activity, I love for it to be an activity, because I'm a doing kind of person. And Bo will talk about be, do, have. You gotta be the kind of person you wanna be, and then do what a person needs to do so you can have what you want to have, right? So, tell me, let's go through the room, what are you gonna do different going forward?
Since I only have my license, I guess, since I just passed my exam like 3-4 days ago,
Mhm.
I've been just kind of like dialing in on my SOI just because I haven't got my business cards, I haven't took my pictures yet. So I haven't really been, I don't have everything. So
You're energized, you're calling your SOI, and by the way, listen, I went the long road, which was a big mistake. I love Keller Williams because people set us up straight here. I was more in cocoa because I feel like since 1983, 84. But I don't live in this area. I live in LA,
yeah,
back in the day. And then I moved to Corona and got my first house. And then I moved back here. So it's like, but my point is I was doing cold calling because I feel like I can know more people, I can make more people cold call. And I didn't get no deals, right? And it took an agent to like Gerry whisper in my ear, like, listen, why can't you call people you know? And I'm first thinking, I remember that I was in Boy Scout. I was a Boy Scout, parent, blah, blah, leader, but, I connect with that and church and all that stuff. And boom, business started coming. So big kudos to you. Okay. Awesome. So what are you going to be doing with those people you know?
So what I've been doing is I've just been calling and trying to introduce myself and say like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm a real estate agent now. So if you ever have anybody that's trying to buy, sell, rent, or invest, just give me a call back. And do you mind if I send you a picture of my business cards when I get it? Most people have been like, yeah, bro, send it. I got you, no problem. And then when I called my best friend, I was actually not gonna call him about real estate. I was gonna call him to see if he was trying to come over last night.
Yeah.
But he was just like, bro, I just talked to moms, and did you know she was trying to sell that house? Like she was trying to buy a house, and I was like, I knew she was, but I didn't know how soon she wanted to buy it. He was like, no, I'm not gonna lie, like she's kind of discouraged right now because the real estate agent came a couple months ago and she went through those phases and they kind of like told her like she can only afford this, but mom, because I know them growing, I grew up with them,
Okay.
So she's a little bougie, so she likes
Yeah.
having like
Mom
expensive
stuff,
things.
mom
Yeah.
stuff.
So now I just
Okay.
my goal for today was like to try to find something so I could lead that conversation with her. So that way she doesn't see me like just another real estate agent. And she has that emotional connection with me, like her own son. So I'm sure she's gonna wanna like, drive with me. So what I'm gonna do is in the next phone calls that I'm making, I'm gonna take note of the things that they might need actual help on. So my follow-up could be more like, hey, how did you do with this, this and that? Even if it has nothing to do with real estate, because most people come to me for like goal orientation and things like that because of, I guess, my position in life. But so like I'm gonna kind of go in that aspect so that way they know that I'm just trying to help them regardless. And they could come back to me when it comes to a way that they can help me.
All right, what are you gonna do from what do you pick up from this class today?
So, doing the same thing here, I have a full-time job that requires more than full-time. It's more like 80 hours a week, and so, pretty much the only days I actually focus on real estate Wednesday, Thursday, so. Trying to finish, I just uploaded all my contacts, I have like 600 contacts in man right now. So trying to refine them, people put tags on them, that I sold cars to, family, friends, cousins. Just trying to refine them and,
You got so much going on for sure.
Yeah.
We have a big event coming. When is it wedding?
April 5th.
Okay, so you have a big event coming, you plan for that, and there's so much that can come back to you with that. If you really take time, even with your spouse, like, look, let's look at this thing well, how can we do it where we can do better because of it, right? Do you own a home right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, so part of the wedding plan or wedding gifts can be a result for home ownership, right? And there's nothing greater if you experience the process while you're in it yourself. Okay. When I first started this business, short sale just started, right? And I had a investment property that I needed to do a short sale on. Now, back in those days, I was committed to the hospital, let me just say it like that. So I can't really be functional in real estate as much. So I gave the short sale to another agent to do. And it will make me to learn how the short sale process works. Even though I was in the hospital, I was kind of watching what she was doing and all that stuff. And when I came out of that, I did like 6 short sales after that. Right? So if you can, you put in a lot of work at your regular job, I'll keep that because that's W-2 income. And if you're focused, something that's so powerful when you do something yourself, it's so easy to bring people along into it. You see what I'm saying? And one of the things I did, even though I did a short sale on my house back then, but I turned it around really quickly. Most people do a short sale and they just give up on life. Like, oh, I let my house go, blah, blah. No, I turned it around real quickly. And that was the power I brought in to help people like, okay, listen, we can do a short sale, but it's not going to be just about a short sale. You're making a good financial decision. You're going to let go of this bad asset. We're going to go do this and do that and pick up a better asset. Right? So, and that really gave me some footing on the ground. Once I helped a couple of people, I remember this one lady in Orange County that I helped her, and she's a realtor now too, but she didn't come together with me. But I helped her, and it was awesome. They sold a house on Fountain Valley, and then when I got something by the beach. It was incredible. But I learned that when it was in the short sale of my house. You see what I'm saying? So if you can figure a way out to create some wealth for deposit, down payment, that focus to get a place, guess what? It's power that is going to bring into all your guests. Like, listen, this is what I just did. I can help you with the same thing. And you're just going to have business like that. All right. Anything you like?
Ask for it.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, start making calls. I've been focusing more on networking Because Glendora is a new community for
Okay.
me, but what you said about like, out of 50 strangers that you generate leads from, one turns into a client versus out of 50 people that you know, two.
12 people, like 12
That's-
people, two comes. 12,
Out of
12 to
12.
2, 12 to 2, or 50 to 1.
Wow, that's even more significant.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so that kind
So-
of just
So
like,
those 50, the one that come into you, well, if you want this a business to 50 unknown people, 12 people they may not be direct business, but they give you a referral business, right? People you vet with, they will vet with you. They'll help you, grow your business.
For me, it's more getting to the appointment. I've made calls and everything, and I've stumbled on getting to the appointment, but I've been working, like creating a script, the whole 9 yards to kind of find the wording and things that are gonna work to get
You
there.
just need to ask for it.
Yeah.
Are you asking for
Yes,
it?
yes, sir. So it's just figuring out like you said, it's not straightforward is because that sometimes can come off aggressive, so it's kind of just finding the wording. Mhm.
All right. My friend on Zoom, talk to us. What do you think of this?
So for me, it's gonna be about following up for sure. I need to follow up. And the second thing that was a big aha for me is you should also go after the person that doesn't like you.
For me, hi Gary, how are you? This is Lillian. For me, it would be making the client before you send them to the lender. It's happened to me too many times. It just happened to me recently. I did an open house and I sat with the buyer for about an hour. And then they made the appointment with the lender that showed up out of nowhere. And poof, they're gone. Haven't heard from them since.
Vet with a client, and then you are helping them with the lender. You are in front of the lender on their behalf. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. I hope you all got something good. It's always a pleasure to put in time, for you guys. So keep doing, please, the key thing to doing well here is your daily session, 10 contacts, and writing down, sending at least 5 business cards, to people. So you need to get those people's address to say, thank you, here's my business card. If I can help you in real estate, let's connect. All right? Thank you all so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I can jump the, that's what you're.